Hello and welcome to my video. This is my video response VR to Simon at the Hermit's Cave. Um, his his video was his top 5 animal decks. Well, I have 4 that are tarot and 2 that are oracle, and these are my 6 animal decks. I love animal decks, but I'm also a little fussy. Um, these are the animal decks I absolutely love, and I thought that I'd talk about them today. Uh, so, first thing I want to mention is I've been watching Simon for a long time, and I think Simon is he's a great human being. You know what I mean? It's when you watch Simon's videos and he features decks. He always like when he talks about the deck, and it's always, I don't know, he just elevates everything that he shows on his channel. It's his ability to one, to express his love of beauty, and his general vibe is one of compassion, and I find him, he personifies compassion, and I always enjoy his videos, and I just thought I'd mention that since I'm doing a VR to one of his videos. Okay, so I'm going to start. So I'm looking at my decks, and I think I'll start with I don't know if these will be in order of which ones I like most, because I'm looking and I can't really place them in a top 5, let's say, starting with number 5. So these are in no particular order, because I look at them and I can't really decide what order they're in. So instead of 5, I have 6, because 4 are tarot decks and 2 are oracle decks that I really need to mention all of them. The first one I'm going to talk about is this one. It's the Animal Totem Tarot by Lisa Robertson. This guidebook is freaking incredible. If you're looking for, suppose you're wanting to buy a gift for someone who is tarot oriented, and they love animals, and they're new to tarot, especially if they're new to tarot. This is the tarot to get them, and I'll tell you why. Because the guidebook really walks us through. Take, for instance, this card here. This is the King of Wands, right? Tasmanian Devil. First of all, oh my God, this card. But anyway. But then there's if you look at the guidebook, you have business and career, family and relationships, health and well-being, and card of the day journal prompts. So I think this would be a really great gift for someone who is new to tarot. They love animals. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like, this is incredible. Now, I'm not new to tarot. I love animals, and I only got this late last year. No, not late. Early this year. I got it for myself as a Christmas present. And oh my gosh, I love this deck. These are the backs. I've edged mine in this reddish brown color. And I love the artwork on this deck. If I could figure out quickly, without keeping you waiting, who the artist is, I will certainly share that in this video. I love this. I've mentioned it in the past, that the reason why I love the illustrations in this deck, because it reminds me of a children's encyclopedia set that I had as a child. The artwork is very similar to that encyclopedia set I had. And that encyclopedia set I had was from the 50s. I think it was from the 1950s. people my whole life. As a child, everything was a hand-me-down, and I love that because it's given me an appreciation for all things vintage. But I love this deck. I think it's a great reader. But also, although I'm not a guidebook person, I recognize that the guidebook is brilliant. It's really good because the author goes through the trouble of placing the card in the context of different life concerns. It really helps someone who's new to tarot expand their view of what the cards mean. And someone who's not so new, like me, there's something new to learn. You know what I mean? It gave, I got something new from it. And I just freaking love animals. And animal decks. So this is one of them. And again, that's the Animal Totem Tarot by Lisa Robertson. She's also the author of the one that comes to mind is the Mermaids Tarot. That one didn't work for me because the artwork was very Disney-like, and I prefer this artwork. Oh, sorry, it's illustrated by Eugene Smith. This one, so love it, love it, love it, love it. The next animal deck that I absolutely adore, and it's hashtag Kelly Bear made me do it, is this one. It's Tarot of the Magical Forest. I love the box so much that I've kept the box, and I keep it in the box. I've trimmed mine because everyone who owns this deck knows it looks so much better trimmed than with the white borders, and I've edged mine in this beautiful grass green. Oh my god. Anyway. So this is very Rider Waite. This is literally Rider Waite imagery with animals. I've also mentioned in the past, whenever I've talked about this deck, that it is, in fact, visually my inner landscape. This is, I don't know if the illustrations remind me of children's books when I was a child, but it really does speak to my inner child in terms of, oh, I just realized, is it in order? Sorry, it's in order. I guess I must have placed it in order. There you go. It's the landscape of my inner child. And this is the kind of deck I turn to when I'm feeling vulnerable, because it's the landscape of my inner child. So that is the Tarot of the Magical Forest. I am grateful to Kelly Bear for talking about it on her channel. I got it last year and I have loved it ever since. The next one is one that I've mentioned recently because I'm working with it a lot. And it is Ted Andrews' Animal Wisdom Tarot. The ones that have these backs. This is currently still available. It's photographs of animals. And I find this deck to be quite, aside from being, it's intuitive. If you work with animal medicine, if you work with animal omens, the meaning of animal, of animal medicine, right? It speaks to that very clearly, but also there's like these keywords at the bottom. For squirrel, prepare for the future. Spider, intuition and weaving of fate. The guidebook goes quite into depth, and again, Me being known as someone who does not love guidebooks in general, because most guidebooks, to be brutally honest, are just rehashed Rider-Waite Smith meanings. This guidebook gives you more. This guidebook is very earth-based spirituality. This guidebook is very psychological, very spiritual. I find that because it's written by Ted Andrews, it has a shamanism flavor to it, and the only one deck I can say that it's similar to, even though it doesn't look anything like it, it's very similar to Dreams of Gaia. So if you have Dreams of Gaia by Raven Phelan, and you have that guidebook, and you find that guidebook to be very helpful, this replaced Dreams of Gaia for me. I had Dreams of Gaia, and I really enjoyed it until I got this, and this is more my speed. This is more my essence, and I absolutely love this deck. I also have, which I'm not going to feature today because then it would turn into all my animal decks. But I also, by Ted Andrews, I also have Feathered Omens, which I absolutely love. And I'm still on the search for his animal runes. But right now I'm pretty happy. I have this and I have the first edition, and I'm doing all right. Okay. My last animal tarot is one I fell in love with when I saw it online, and I saw it in someone else's video, and I want to say it was And the Moon Loves Me, Valerie. I think she had done a video where she featured it, and I just fell in love, and it's a tarot fauna. Oh my goodness. So the first three decks I showed you, they're all mass produced. You could get them anywhere. Booksellers and Amazon and metaphysical shops. This one's independently produced. And so this is one of those indie decks. And this is Tarot Fauna. First of all, let's talk about the detail on the box. So it's a two-part box. Oops, sorry. It's a two-part box. This is what the outside of the box looks like. This is what the inside of the box looks like. These are the backs. And the cardstock is just absolutely, it's just beautiful cardstock, people. I can't, it's, yeah. And the artwork is just absolutely stunning. And this is an extra card in the deck, the Wild. And we have, so each minor arcana suit, you have owls for air or swords, foxes for fire or wands, bears for pentacles or earth, and otters for water or cups. And I'm back. So this is a Tarot Fauna, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm pretty sure someone's done a flip through online, because, you know, I must have seen a flip through, because for me to shell out for an indie deck, I would have had to have watched a walkthrough, an in-depth walkthrough. I just absolutely, oh yeah, Cosmic Creeper. I think Cosmic Creeper has a beautiful walkthrough of this deck. So check that out. Love it. Oh my gosh. So I had on my wish list, I still have it. That's not hacked. On my wish list, I have Badger's Forest. And it's still sitting on my wish list because I have Tarot Fauna. And I don't know. I don't want to have competing decks. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure. But I think I haven't, in other words, I haven't decided. Like if I could trade for Badger's Forest Tarot, I'm going to. But I haven't decided yet if I'm going to just purchase it because I have Tarot Fauna, which I absolutely adore. The last two decks are Oracle decks. And again, like I stated, I'm very particular about my tarot decks, which is why I only have 4 animal tarot decks. And I'm very particular. In turn, I'm very particular about my animal decks. And that's probably why I only have 2 animal oracle decks. The first one I made this bag for, so you probably could tell right away which one this is going to be because I made the bag to match the back of the cards. And it's the Medicine Cards by Jamie Sams. So these are the backs, right? So, and I love these. This is not my original one. I had my original deck had less animals in it. I can't remember how many cards it had. This is the current one, which has more. And the guidebook for this deck is everything. How I use these cards, I thought I'd mention is I live in the Pacific Northwest of North America and Canada, to be specific. And a lot of these animals are here. I have the opportunity, to see these animals in my environment. So for instance, just steps away from where I live, there's a swamp and there's turtles that live there. So how I use these cards is not solely as an oracle, but for an example, when I was driving to work a couple of months ago, animals crossed my path when I drive to work, and I saw oh my god, a weasel. And I don't know if weasel is in this deck right now, but if it is, I would look it up in this book and see what it means, what the animal medicine is of weasel, what the weasel medicine is. The same thing when deer, deer is something that we see regularly. I live in a residential area. I don't live in the woods, people, but we see deer a lot. And when I see a bunch, a herd of deer on my street, I will look right away. I'll get my medicine cards and I'll look it up. And right now, at this stage in the game, I already know what it means when I see deer. But that's what I love about these cards. And oh, wow, man. Talk about like random. But not. I look it up in my in the guidebook that goes with these cards to see what it means. So it's like with the deck that I'm not featuring today, which is Feathered Omens by Ted Andrews. Birds. I've seen a lot of birds this summer. I think it's because we've put a bird bath in our backyard. And I'm seeing a lot of different birds. Also, I think it's because I let my backyard garden situation just go wild. So I am seeing a lot of different birds than I normally would see. The only ones that do not approach my backyard are ravens and crows, which makes me sad. But that's because I was informed that my a neighbor adjacent yard has a fake owl up in their backyard to keep them away, because both owls and corvids are territorial, and if corvids see that there's an owl in a territory, they don't encroach, and vice versa. So much to my chagrin, corvids and do not come near my property. However, anywhere else I go, I'm constantly surrounded by corvids, and I love it. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. The last animal deck that I'm going to feature is also an oracle, and it's the Messenger Oracle by Sandra Kunz. This one is independently produced. So you all know. I'm just assuming that if you're watching this, you know that these are mass produced and they're available everywhere. They've been around for like 20 something years. But this is the first. No, I have independently produced decks from Quebec when I lived in Montreal in the, up until the late 90s. I have a couple of oracle decks that are independent, that were produced by the artist and creator there. But this is the first independently produced deck I ever purchased here in the last few years after those, which I purchased in the 90s. And this is the Messenger. Did I show you the cover? The Messenger Cards, Guidance from the Animal Spirits by Sandra Kunz. So Sandra Kunz, I'm pretty sure, is located in Alberta, Canada. And these cards are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The story about this deck is that when I first got it, I didn't connect to it. And then it kept going from my shelf to my move along box, then back on my shelf, and then finally I connected to them, and I'm glad I held on to them, because I adore them. Beautiful artwork. Just stunning. See, that's the image on the backs. And that, my friends, is my VR to Simon's video top 5 animal decks. I cheated and I showed you 6, but these are my 6 animal decks, and I love all of them, and I didn't want to leave any of them out. I didn't want to leave one out, is what I'm trying to say. That's it for me for this video. Thank you so much, and I'm wishing you all a beautiful day.